Hello, hello, and welcome back to Starcraft 2. I am Zoronden, and you are tuned in for what I believe is a Diamond League match on Daybreak. Let's go ahead and check out today's combatants. In the bottom left corner will be the red Terran, iKill, and in the top right corner, the blue Zerg, Kalma. And we're going to see how these two players go head to head and see who comes out on top. This, of course, is another fan game sent in to Zoronden at gmail.com. And you can send your replays into that website as well, or that email rather, and I will cast them for you. Gonna quickly check the sound here. Seems a little quiet. We'll put it up there. It should work for you guys. Don't want it to be deadly silent. That can be quite boring. Anyways, I am casting this game mere hours before the big World of Warcraft Mists of Pandaria expansion launch, which I am very excited for. I'm going to be playing that right away when it launches. It's going to be 2 o'clock Central Time. I am a Central Time Zone person. So I know that a lot of you don't necessarily play World of Warcraft because obviously this is Starcraft, but of course it is a similar company, or the same company rather, not similar. So I just wanted to mention that, and I of course have recorded this and uploaded it for you guys, so there'll be uninterrupted content for you. I wanted to make sure and do that. Didn't want to miss out on that for you guys. So obviously you are now watching it, and I did such. And let's go ahead and bring up that production tab. I always seem to forget that a little bit. And it looks like Kalma's scouting drone is indeed going to get in here. So the wall off, not quite done. He could have brought an extra SCV up there to finish that wall off. Unfortunately, he did not do that. So the drone did get in. Obviously not a lot to see. It'll only really be an issue if he leaves that drone in there or decides to do a bit of harassing, which for now doesn't seem to be the case. Looks like he's just going to continue to kind of run in circles and do his scouting out thing. Do of course have that orbital command on the way as well, and the natural expansion for Kalma that you saw there, as well as a pool. So it was a fast expand into a pool. Very typical play out of Zerg players, especially in the non-pro leagues, I guess. You'll see that first hatch, then pool quite often in pretty much anything below Masters. And I mean, even the Masters and Pros do it too. It's not like it's anything exclusive to low league. It's just a very solid build, and a lot of people choose to use it. So there's that. Looks like that drone has indeed run home. He decided to run around crazy like. I think he thinks he's being attacked. That was his fear, but he does go ahead and drop down a spine crawler with that drone that actually did make it home, and that SCV actually that's what I was looking at there earlier. He has dropped onto that Zelnog watchtower, and is going to camp that for the meantime. And I just noticed I left up the little thingy over there, so my logo was up the whole time. That has faded away. I don't typically put a logo over there just because it's a little more editing work for me. But I do want to cover up how long the game time is, not to spoil, to keep some spoilers away from you. So I have gone ahead and covered that up and then taken it away once I did retract that. And a Reaper on the field by iKill. That is interesting to see. Not a typically largely used unit in Wings of Liberty. There are a lot more Reapers being used on the Heart of the Swarm beta. So it's interesting that that iKill is choosing to build a Reaper at this time. We of course have an expansion going down for iKill that should be lifting off and floating over to his natural shortly, unless he does get orbital on it first. Just have to keep an eye on what he decides to do. He does indeed go for orbital first, which isn't a terrible call. You can still produce SCVs for your main, and in the meantime you can start generating that energy on that orbital from extra mules. And quite a few queens down by Kalma. Looks like he's even got 2 more on the way with 4 already on the field, so he's going to have 6 queens running around. That is a very curious play. It's almost the old just build a lot of queens and hatcheries style. I'm actually forgetting what that style was called at the moment. Oh, it's going to bug me now that I can't think of it. But that's something a lot of guys were doing for a while, especially in the pros. It was actually a pro that originally orienteered it, and it was quite effective. You just kind of creep spread across the map, you mass-produce queens, and it can be quite dangerous. You obviously have plenty of energy for larvas, you have tons of creep tumors, and obviously the queens can all transfuse each other, which can be quite frustrating if you're trying to kill an army of queens that just keeps healing themselves. I have seen that on fairly many occasions, not in games I've casted, but in watching games, and it can definitely be frustrating. And he is not stopping with this Reaper production. That is 4 Reapers with 3 more on the way. He's also getting the Nitro boosts, and the Marines are going to take out that Overlord. Unfortunate for that. It's kind of a suicide mission, but he should get the Reapers. Oh, I don't know if he actually was able to see those Reapers. I selected the wrong guy. Too late to tell. And there go those Reapers. How many are on the field right now? It looks like we have 5, 6. Alright, so they're going to go across the map. This Overlord very likely spotted them on their way over. As long as Kalma's on the ball, and he's actually supply blocked at the moment. And oh my, he made a lot of Overlords to get on supply block. It looks like he does have an idea that these guys are coming. However, that drone, oh, what a miss there. Wow! iKill could have gotten an easy drone kill, even a possible expand snipe, you know, keeping him from canceling and refunding those minerals. But he just retreats at just the wrong time, or scouted it out at the wrong time. And even more Reapers joining in the party. Let's check out the units tab. We got Lings and Queens for Kalma and 9 Reapers for iKill. And it looks like he's going to find that expansion this time. Will he kill it without the cancel? Oh, it's getting very close. No cancel there. Very unfortunate for Kalma. That was just, oh, he should have focused on canceling that instead of bringing in the Lings to all die. Now even these Queens are going to go down. And Kalma is telling iKill this is not Heart of the Swarm and he shouldn't have Reapers. Unfortunately, Kalma's getting his butt kicked at the moment, and that he might want to worry about winning instead of telling his opponent that it is not the Heart of the Swarm beta. There's that in transfusion I was talking about. Queens healing themselves up. These Queens are going to be need to be careful. Another transfuse. Here comes the Roaches. The Reapers are now in danger themselves and do have to pull back. Let's go ahead and go back to the production tab instead of the units tab. Quite a few upgrades coming along for Kalma. We do have centrifugal hooks. So we should be seeing some of that coming out as well, which could be quite a threat if iKill's not careful. And it looks like he might have these Reapers get all cleaned up. However, they do find a pocket yet again. All the Queens are here in the back. They're going to try and do their best. Is he going to snipe another patch without a cancel? Oh, that one does get canceled. So recouping that money's there. Even more Reapers going down, but they are doing their job. They have stopped that expansion twice now. Once without a cancel, which was very painful. And that is a lot of Roaches coming out for Kalma. And iKill needs to produce some units as he is down almost 40 food. That could get very dangerous for Kalma, or for iKill. And iKill's asking, are you sure it's not Heart of the Swarm? I couldn't tell. And they're actually, if you're ever curious, if you're watching some replays and you're curious if they are Heart of the Swarm or not, speaking of which, here we go. Speaking of which, we got another attack here that might get another. Oh, barely cancels it at the last second. The Roaches come in. He's going to sneak off there with that medevac. Anyways, if you're wondering if a replay is Heart of the Swarm, if for some reason a caster hasn't posted what it is, the Queens are a great way to tell on the Zerg. The new Queen model does not have the old attack arms, and they're a little smaller. And then, of course, if there's any Heart of the Swarm units on the map, that's an easy way to tell as well. Wow, and that is a lot of supply depots going down by iKill. He does not want to be supply blocked anymore. Honestly, I'd rather see this than supply drop. Obviously, multiple supply depots at once you typically want to avoid. Of course, with the money iKill has, or had, he was over 1K. It's not too big of a worry. And this Overlord dropping his creeps actually going to block that orbital from dropping. Sour about that. iKill is definitely not want to get into that situation. And we do have an Infestor Pit coming down for Kalma, so we should see Infestors on the field sooner rather than later. And a Hydralisk Den. Oh, that totally caught me off guard. Did not expect that. Looks like a failed drop came in there. Managed to save 2 of the Marines. And he does have Queens kind of strategically positioned around his main. And that's the fact that he's just got, well, I guess he doesn't have as many as he used to. He's down to 4 now, where he used to have almost 8 or 9, I believe. And look at that. It looks like that expansion was stopped yet again. Kalma can just not catch a break with that expansion. He's actually had to take this one for his 3rd because he just kept losing that other one so many times. I think he's lost it 3, even 4 times now. Yeah, it's 4 times now. But Kalma still has that food lead. He could almost press here and do some serious damage. iKill has been all about harassment and just... I mean, he's done some very nice damage, but I don't know how effective in the long run it's been for him as Kalma's army continues to grow, especially that roach population. Kalma was shortly supply blocked as iKill had killed that Overlord that was dropping creep there, but that didn't last too long as Kalma's been on the ball with those drops. And here comes a big engagement. Tons of roaches marching right into the Marines. Starting to do serious damage to the Marines. However, the Marauders are doing nice damage. But I think he's going to easily mop this up. The roaches are going to do what they do best, and that is killing and murdering humans. Making little squishy red puddles out of them. They definitely easily mopped that up with very few. I think there was only 1 medevac backing them up there. And the stim came a little late. After about half the army was already dead. And we have a natural drop over here, or a 3rd drop over here. That one does not kill off that 3rd, which actually is now a 4th. But we do have Hydras on the field. So he definitely built that den with the intent of Hydras. And we have a Roach Hydra army going on here, which I'm surprised to see Hydras after Kalma's telling iKill it's not a Heart of the Swarm game, and suddenly he's building a Heart of the Swarm unit, essentially. With the new speed that Hydra's get in Heart of the Swarm, they're very awesome. And so we have iKill transitioning out of Heart of the Swarm units, and Kalma transitioning into them. So very curious Wings of Liberty play we're having here. And obviously that creep spread, very nice by Kalma. It's almost half the map. And it looks like Kalma is ready to do his deed, and with almost 50 food point lead still, actually it's over 50 now, he might do some serious damage, if not claim the game here. Let's see how this turns out. And he needs to focus on the troops, not the rocks. And it looks like he's going to go for it. Those Hydras from the back are really going to help as long as the roaches are being focused on by that Marauder army. And that is totally just cleaned up. The Hydras doing their high DPS from the background, while the roaches just tank the damage, and this small group here is not going to be able to do it. However, there is a medevac for almost every single one of them, but they do indeed go down quite quickly. However, there are no more roaches in this army. It is all Hydras at this time. A couple more Marauders. They're going to go down quite easily to that many Hydralisks. However, he does need to still focus on the troops. And there goes iKill telling Kalma this time that this is not a Heart of the Swarm game. And apparently it kind of is. Both trying out some strategies that are going to be possibly very popular in Heart of the Swarm. And Kalma this time was pretty much just corralling iKill in his main. He's brought down Roach reinforcements. Also, here comes some Hydras, moving quite slow without that upgrade that doesn't exist yet. Both of them commenting, not sure why it worked, that he got beat by Hydras. And Kalma just saying, metagame, buddy. Metagame. Anyways, guys, that was a lot of fun. A very bizarre matchup, honestly, between 2 players on, keep in mind, live Starcraft on Wrath of the Lich King. Wow, I really do have Warcraft on the brain, guys. On Wings of Liberty, not Heart of the Swarm. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you're playing Warcraft today, I hope you're having fun. I know I will be, or am currently. I want to thank you for tuning in. If you liked this, please do thumbs up and subscribe. I am Zoronden, and I will catch all of you next time.